quarters, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Eric Armstead in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this is recovered in the end zone by the defense. My goodness, what a late turn of events here. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. And it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
20.
To throw on 3rd down, Newton. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Watch 32. 36, 36. Gun, gun! Gun, gun! 47's the mic.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Dancing to, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Ben Gideon in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Panthers have recovered. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. So many times, tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did. I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to... And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And shutting him off, now open field. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Let's rock now. 20. Hey. 20. Gun. 20.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gun.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play there for the Niners. 43 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Gun! Watch QB drop! Watch
now here in Santa Clara. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Back to throw, Newton. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. So that'll back him up 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the gun, Newton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd and 10. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense, and they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And he'll go right back to Moore, complete again. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Pro Bowl corner, Jason Verrett, on the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on 2nd down. Newton. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 9 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And Gano's kick is right through. And they double them up here. That makes our score 20-10.
So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Back to throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's James. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a play fake here on first down. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on second and 10.
Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. And the 49ers going to take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A give to the fullback on the dive. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
20. Ready? 780. 20. 8.
Newton. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Philip Dorsett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Gano out to kick this one away. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They're going to look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets him a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Room to run past midfield. To the right side, complete to Taylor. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On play action, they'll throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. Now, pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on third down. Back to throw. And James has it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.